Today, save time and money by skipping the do it yourself approach. Listen, the do it yourself approach did not work for me. All the years that I was trying to do it myself, it just did not work. I had to have help. Now, thankfully, the Most High really pointed me in the right way for me to get my help. Um, and there was a lot of learning in the process. And I really believe that his hand was on me because somehow I learned most of what we're going to talk about today. Um, it I just believe it came from him. He's the one that implants this stuff in me. I cannot explain it. But when I understand and I look back where I came from and how he brought me to the place where I am now, I do understand. I understand why he put me in the situations that I was in so that I can do what I'm doing today. And I love it. I love speaking to you all. I love to see people who are eager to change their lives. I'm so grateful and so thankful that he has put me in this place to be able to help other people because to me, that is really living when you can watch other people's lives change. So, again, save time. I'm going to help you learn how to save money by skipping the trying to do it by yourself approach, basically. Okay, so let's go ahead and start getting into the lesson because I got a lot to go over. So let's go ahead and start the workbook. Today you should have the day 4 challenge workbook. All right. Sweetie, again, thank you for doing such a good job with this workbook. These people would have been looking at a piece of paper with some hand right scribbling stuff on it if it wasn't for you. Okay, now I'm getting ready to show you all something, all right? And I purposefully did not put this in the homework for you all because I don't want it copied. Okay? This is actually coming from my course. And so I want you all to see it because these are some of the steps and processes that in my course that I go through. But I want to show it to you all so that you can see the funnel that we walk ourselves into if we do not alter our plan. And if you are there, what I'm getting ready to show you, I'm going to show you how to walk yourself out of it. All right? So let's go ahead and look at the first funnel. I'm going to explain this to you. Okay, this is called the disease degradation funnel, meaning you have gotten your body into a degraded state. And this is how you have gotten your body into a degraded state. The first of the top of the funnel, okay, we're going to be falling down into the funnel on this one. The top of the funnel is our food. What we are putting in our mouths, the UPFs, the ultra processed foods, is the first step to falling into this funnel. When you begin, most of us have been consuming this type of industrial product into our mouth. And so when we consume this, which we have been doing most of our lives, if you're around my age, if you're in the 50s, this really started taking place back in the early 70s, actually the 60s, believe it or not, but more so in the 70s when the industrial food giants really began to really work out this food and come up with their formulations for what they call food. Okay, so once you start to eat this food, you begin to work yourself down in this funnel. And the first thing that we start to notice in this funnel is illness. Your body is going to begin to let you know what is taking place. Okay, headache. So now the brain, the head is starting to tell you that something is wrong. And what do we normally go do when we have a headache? We pop an aspirin, we pop a Tylenol. All we're doing is, see, I'm getting into my lesson. What we are actually doing is we are covering up what the Most High has given us as a warning signal. Something is not right. Headache, inflammation, our joints are beginning to hurt. So what are we going to go do? We're going to go pop some prescription medication for our joint pains. We're going to cover up the issue. We're going to deaden those nerves that is telling us, hey, Mr. Logan, something is not right. Something is wrong. You're just deadening me to where I can't communicate to you and I can't tell you. So since it feels better to me, I'm going to keep taking these pills because they take the pain away from me. So when the pain becomes great and no longer are the pills working, what do? What happens to our bodies? It begins to show up in other forms. It shows up in other ways. Now we have another issue taking place. Why? Because we skipped the first warning, we bypassed the second warning, and now the third, more serious warning is popping up into our bodies. So then we move into I call it sick care because we don't ever go until we're sick. We move into the health care option. Now we are checking ourselves into the emergency room, or we are checking ourselves into the urgent care because we have this pressing issue that is hurting us. We're speaking to the doctor. He's talking to us for every bit of 5 minutes, making a diagnosis on our bodies, and having spent any time with us, hasn't found out what we're eating. For some of us who are overweight, they already put us in a box, a stereotypical box, because we're overweight, and they give us less time. That's proven, y'all. What's the book? Ultra Processed People. The guy is a doctor, and he talks about how they do their patients. If you come in and you're obese, you get less time. You're getting prejudged. So we move in to see the doctor. The doctor talks to us, and he's going to, within 5 minutes, give us our prescription medication. Or he's going to say, Mr. Logan, this is what you've got going on. We need to do surgery on you. We need to remove that from you. If I am fearfully and wonderfully made, why do you need to remove something from me? Can you not tell me what I need to do to keep it from happening? No, you're going to give me medication. You're going to give me a surgery. Once we move past the medication and the surgery, and we don't reverse what we have been doing, our next step, really, I should have debilitation in there. But our next step is going to be death. Because once the surgery and the medication no longer solves the problem, and we don't know that food will actually solve the problem, our next step is going to be death. I mean, by cancer, whatever it is, whatever disease that is going to take our life, a fatal disease, it is going to take it. Everybody understand? This is the way that we gradually fall down the hole with our life. And many of you can count people on your hands that you have seen do this. Okay, let's move to the next one. This is called the health reclamation funnel. The health reclamation funnel. So, listen, when I tell you this, I really mean this 100%. This came to me. The first funnel you just saw, this funnel that you just saw. I didn't even know what reclamation meant. But let me give you the definition to reclamation. Reclamation, the process of claiming something back or of reasserting a right. The process of claiming something back or reasserting a right. March the 12th, 2023, the day I decided to take my life back. That was a day of reclamation for me. That was a day of reclaiming. That was a day of reasserting my right to be able to live a life of health. And I knew that there was going to be some sacrifices that I was going to have to make to do that. I knew I was going to have to sacrifice everything that I love to eat. It was going to be a sacrifice for me. But that's what it takes to reclaim something back that is my right. The Most High made it a birthright for you to live in health. The food industry, the industrial food industry, makes it a birthright for you to lose your health. Why? Because they're not properly feeding us. Nor is it their job to properly feed us. That's not their job. Their job is to give us pleasure when we eat. That's what it's about. All right, so let's walk this funnel out. So on this one, as you can see, we are starting out at the bottom of the funnel. This is where we are. We know we need to change. Need for change. So what are we going to do? We are already in a state, if we're at the bottom of the funnel, y'all, this is where we're in trouble. We know in our minds we got to do something differently than we've already done. We have a need for change in our life. So what is going to happen in order for us to change that need in our life? We're going to have a mindset transformation. That means you get away from the old way that you normally think, and you're going to have to alter your mind. Hey, we're supposed to be transformed by the renewing of our minds. The renewing. That doesn't mean it's something brand new. It doesn't mean you got to go swap your brain out and go get another brain and put it in. It simply means you're going to go and tackle those old ways of thinking. Those old processes that we used to do, we're going to alter them. We're going to renew our thinking. What I thought was good yesterday, tomorrow I'm going to think is not good. That is where we have to get our mind. Mindset transformation. Once we move from that mindset transformation, hey, we're already climbing back up the ladder. Hey, changing your mind is quite a bit of the battle. Because as we talked about, if you change your mind, your desire, your heart is going to follow, and then you're going to commit the action to make that happen. And then you're going to accomplish your goal. And that's what we're doing. That THAG principle, this funnel came before the THAG principle. That's how I know this is the Most High in play here. I know it's him because me and of myself cannot come up with something like this, y'all. Trust me. I know me. This is not me. This is him who is inside of me that is giving me what to think. This is him that is inside of me that is giving me what to say. So all I say is, it's not me. Listen up, because this is coming from him. This is for you all. And it's for me too, trust me. The next thing we have to do from that mindset transformation is we have to have an establishment of a holistic lifestyle. That means holistically. We're going to get off of the process stuff. Okay? The process stuff we see does not benefit us. Now we're going to get into the eating correctly, eating the whole foods. Now we're going to get into the proper thinking. Now we're going to get into getting out and walking. Now we're going to get into doing the things that we like to do, that we never knew that we wanted to do. See, our mental process, our mental faculties are now beginning to work. You don't worry about no Alzheimer's. Not worried about no dementia now. Why? Because our mind is now being exercised. The clouds are beginning to be rolled away in our minds. Our next step is, once we understand this holistic lifestyle that we are about to live, now we have to walk it out. See, now you're moving to the top of the funnel. Because why? Because now you have it in action. You're walking it out. You're doing. You're exercising the mind. You're exercising the body. You're exercising that nutritious food that is reversing your body. It's not the food that's reversing your body. It's the nutrients what's inside of the food that is causing your body to start grabbing the good stuff and bringing it in. Grabbing the good stuff and bring. You ever seen a crab on a beach? You ever see a crab eat? It's got those things that keeps bringing up to his mouth. That's what we're doing. We're bringing it up to our mouth and we're eating. And our bodies is collecting that and taking it to its each and every proper section. It's taking it to the joints and it's healing the joints. It's taking it to the mind. It's healing the mind. It's doing all of those things. The last part, this is the part where you are walking out of that funnel that you got yourself in. It's the health transformation and maintenance. Okay? Don't think that you can get to the top of the funnel and say, okay, whoo, I'm out. I can go back to doing what I was doing because I sure miss that food. I'm doing good now, so I'm going to sneak in. I'm going to eat me one of these hot dogs because I'm doing good. No. This is the maintenance phase. Okay? Your health has already transformed. You feel it. Everything has been reversed in you. Your dis-ease is no longer bothering you. It's gone. The important part is maintenance. Now it's time to maintain what you are doing, and that is just as important as you starting. Let me say that for you one more time. It is just as important as you starting. This is very serious, you all. I don't know if you're comprehending the information that the Most High is giving you right now. He's giving you the roadmap to your health. I'm excited for you all. I think you're on a path right now that is going to take you where you want to go. Your life, as I told many of you all at the beginning of the week, your life is changing this week because it's starting with your mind. Starting with your mind. I'm excited for you. Very excited for you. Okay, now we're going to start getting into some more meat. If that didn't fry your brain, I'm getting ready to fry it just a little bit more. And that's okay, because you're probably getting ready to start eating, or you are eating good food that rebuilds your brain cells. So when we fry one's going to come right back. It's quite all right. Okay, now let's think about some practical things that we can do. Okay, we know that if you can either pay now or you can pay later. Pay now or pay later. Let's think about rising food costs. What are some options that we can do to overcome this rising food costs? My grocery bill for me and what I eat has probably really gone up. Why? Because I'm now eating whole foods. Whole foods are more expensive. Cheap food is cheap. whole food, it's going to cost you some money. But when you're eating whole foods, you are paying for your healthcare system. I know that many of us have health insurance. This is your health insurance. The health insurance that you pay for your job or for your retirement, that health insurance, it's not really health insurance. It's sick insurance. When you get sick, they jump in and hop in for you. What we're talking about is your health insurance. You don't get sick with this health insurance. If you do get sick, you're not sick for long, or it doesn't hit you as hard or as long. Okay? So you're getting ready to invest in your own healthcare system. You let your job do their healthcare system. You've got to be a part of it. I understand that. But you're getting ready to really invest in your own healthcare system. Think of ways to cut costs for your food. So, number one, start an outdoor garden. Start an outdoor garden. Begin to grow your own food. It's the only true way you're going to know that you are eating organically. That's really the only way you're going to know. Number two, start an indoor garden. Now, I put this on here for you all. It's called the Tower Garden. It's because I know that it works. We actually have one at home. My wife actually, man, I forgot to put that picture up of you on there. Wow. My wife actually deals with tower gardens, and this is her link. When you get a chance, look up Tower Garden. It's literally a tower. It's a garden and it's a tower. For those of you who live in cold climates, you can grow fresh produce in your house in the smack dab middle of the winter. Okay? So there's the link for it. I know it's not a clickable link, but that's what you have. Go check those out. All right? Go check those out. They're awesome. We have three. We have two. Oh, we have three. Oh, so we've got two that she operates from our home, and maybe I'll sneak a picture into that one day and show you all. But it grows really quick. So come up with your own system. If that doesn't work for you, make your own system. Start growing food inside of your house for the winter times. And that way you can at least have some leafy greens that are growing. On ours, you can cut the greens and they grow right back. You just keep cutting them and they keep on growing. They stop growing in bud when you stop cutting them. But as long as you're cutting them down, they're continuously growing greens for you. All right? Number 3, find a local farmer. During the summertime, I do not buy my watermelons from the store. I go to a local farmer, someone that I know who buys watermelons, who raises watermelons, and I go to him and buy directly from him. And I get a discount. Instead of paying $8, $9 for watermelon or paying $6 for nasty watermelon at these big super grocery stores where you open up 7 of them, 3 of them might be good. I go directly to a farmer and purchase them. I also, if I chose to, I could actually buy my produce from him as well. My produce and my vegetables I could buy from him if I wasn't growing them myself. Okay? So I see some of you already own your gardens. I've seen pictures of some of your gardens. Hey, and great job for that. That's awesome. So those are ways to cut your cost. Again, pay now or pay later. Pay now to start your garden, and you will see an abundance of food come about. Throughout the whole summer, you'll see an abundance of food come about. All right, let's look at something else that definitely has to be discussed: rising healthcare cost. Rising healthcare cost. True healthcare is caring for yourself, giving it the proper nutrients. You see, and maybe I shouldn't say this. When you give yourself proper nutrients, you don't have to worry about wearing a mask. Your body is going to fight for you. It's amazing. You know, you think about people sometimes. You're like, can I trust them? Will they fight for me? Listen, when you take care of your body will fight for you because you are fighting for it. It's a symbiotic thing, your mind and your body. When you feed it what it needs, it's going to go all out for you. When the flu comes around, don't worry about the flu. It's going to bypass you. I mean, it may hit you and your body's going to pop, get out of here. And you'll watch everybody else get sick and you'll be healthy. I know. I've been there this year. Trust me. I've always worried about getting the flu. This year, I said, I'm not getting the flu. And when people got the flu around me, I didn't get the flu. It's amazing when you love your body and when you take care of your body. It doesn't matter when people come around you with illnesses. Your body will defend you. Why? Because you are defending it. Change your mindset. Stop being scared of illnesses the way we have been trained. Oh no, sniffle, I got to go to the doctor. Doctor got to give me some medication so I can stop this sniffling in my nose taking place. No. Change your mindset. Feed your body. Don't worry about illness. If you get it, it's probably a guarantee you will not feel the full brunt of it because your body is going to take it for you. Okay, the healthcare system is the fastest growing business in the United States. Do you all hear that? Do you wonder why? The healthcare system is the fastest growing business in the United States. Why? Because there's being more ultra processed food being created and generated more than has ever been. So with the rise of ultra processed food comes the rise of the healthcare system. Take away ultra processed food, the healthcare system will come crashing down. By what we eat, we uphold the healthcare system, the quote unquote healthcare system. By what we eat, we uphold, we make those people grow rich. In my little small town that I live in, there are more urgent cares, hospitals, doctor's office, clinics than there is grocery stores. Prescription places, there are more of those than there are grocery stores. There's a problem. When you have more healthcare systems in operation, then you have places where you can go get good and clean whole food from. That just goes to show you where the money is going. The money is not in the grocery stores. The money is not in whole food. The money is in your sickness. So when we get sick, we make them wealthy. Change your mind. Start keeping your money to yourself and taking care of your own health care system. Number 3, the second largest and fastest growing in the world behind the information technology is the healthcare system. It's not just here in the United States. The healthcare system everywhere is growing. It's number two. It's behind the big IT companies. It's behind Google, the big information technology companies. It's running right behind them. Why? Because more countries are now being affected by UPFs. The UK is running right behind us. Canada is running right behind us. Now these little island countries who never had to deal with any of this stuff, now they've got Kentucky Fried Chicken. They've got all of these chains there now, and they're eating them, and now they're starting to get sick. And now the healthcare system is starting to rise in those countries because of what they are beginning to consume now. The Western diet will kill you. People who usually eat pineapples and coconuts and bananas and all these things that grow on trees, nuts, seeds, berries. Now they're eating chicken, hamburgers, all these things that have been shipped in from the U.S., these big chains that are there now. And now people are getting diabetes. So it just really goes to show you how this is affecting us. UPFs feed the healthcare system. I think we've already established that well enough right now, that the ultra processed food system feeds the healthcare system. So when you eat it, you feed the hospitals. You feed the urgent cares. You make them wealthy. Your wealth is in your health. If you don't have health, you'll never create wealth. What would it cost you if you felt like you were not able to handle your addiction or your weight loss and you want the healthcare system to treat you? How much would it cost you? I'm going to tell you, it's probably going to cost you everything. What would they offer you? I've ran some tabulations. You can go back and research this for yourself. When you become type 2 diabetic, and I pray that none of you do, and if you are, you probably know the expense better than me. This is between having health insurance and not having health insurance. When you become diabetic, paying for your insulin and your equipment that goes with it, monthly is going to cost you between $50 and $500 monthly. $50 and $500 monthly. That's for your insulin. That's for your syringes. That's for the thing that measures the sugar in your blood. All of that is going to cost you between $50 and $500. Just imagine if you stop eating that fatty meat. If we would just quit eating that fatty meat with that sugar, this can go away. If you're diabetic, diabetes really comes from, let me say this, I have to say it, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a nutritionist. Everything that I'm learning from research. So you have to research it for yourself. I'm just presenting the information to you. Do not eat meat and eat sugar during the same day. I'm going to explain something to you about how we obtain diabetes. When you eat meat or fatty food, that fatty food gets into your blood system. It gets into your bloodstream. When you follow it up with a good old dessert, that sugar that goes into your system travels into your bloodstream. Your cells actually feed off of glucose. What is glucose? Glucose is sugar. That's what your body runs off of. When you're overweight and you say, I'm going to go on a fast, and you stop eating for 2 or 3 days, because you're not bringing sugar into your system, your body is going to start to grab some of the fat on your body. Your body is going to break that fat down into, guess what? Somebody type it in the chat for me. What is your body going to break that fat down into? Anybody know? Glucose. Sugar. So if you're diabetic and they tell you you shouldn't be eating sugar, your body is processing fat, turning it into sugar. Something's wrong. So what is happening is there's these things that are called receptors that stick up. When you're eating fat and sugar together, the fat jumps on top of the receptors. And the sugar goes by and it tries to connect itself to the receptors, but it can't because the fat is blocking the receptors. So the sugar can't go in, so it bounces off and it stays in your bloodstream. And that is when your pancreas sends out the military. And the repeated cycle of this over and over again, keeping sugar in your blood like that, turns you to diabetes. Diabetic is what they call it, because you have a lot of blood in your sugar. A lot of sugar in your blood. So this is what you should do if you're going to eat meat. Do not eat sugar or fruit in the same day. Do not eat meat or sugar from fruit in the same day. Either do one or the other. Now, fruit. I know many of you have probably heard that don't eat too much fruit because that's too much sugar for your body and you'll get diabetes. That's false. Let me explain to you from the research that I have been reading, and there's other people who can explain this to you as well. When you consume an apple and you eat it, and that fiber and that juice goes down into your stomach, your body processes that within about 30 minutes. That's how we know that fruit is best for our bodies. It's best for our digestive system. It's not like meat where it sits on your body for 5-6 hours. When you eat fruit, your body will digest it within 30 minutes. That sugar does not go into your lower intestines. That sugar comes out at the top. That sugar from that fruit does not even need your pancreas to work. So the sugar goes into your stomach, through your walls, into your bloodstream, into the receptors that takes it right into your cells. Your cells feed on glucose. Isn't that amazing? Your cell feeds on sugar. So why do people say stay away from fruit? Because they don't have the understanding about fruit. The Most High designed fruit perfectly. He put the fiber in the fruit so that your blood sugar does not go up. It's like it's a buffer. What it's doing is it's like a filter. It's allowing a little bit of sugar to drop at a time. Little bit at a time, little bit at a time, little bit at a time. When we eat regular sugar, it just flows right into your bloodstream. And you have this big sugar spike. When you eat fruit, your blood sugar does not spike. So that's why you do not eat fruit and meat together. Really should not be done in the same day. Either do one or do the other if you have to have meat. You will not become diabetic eating fruit. No matter what they tell you, you research that for yourself and see if I'm wrong what I'm telling you. The Most High made fruit. Why would he produce something for Adam and Eve that's going to give them diabetes? I didn't even know what diabetes was back then. He made it perfectly for your body. It's the most perfect edible food that you can eat is fruit. It will give your body everything it needs to heal itself. That's why I love it so. Nobody will ever tear fruit away from me again. Okay, let's keep going. All right, so dialysis. If you don't keep your blood sugar under control and your kidneys begin to mess up, you need to know this. Your kidneys and your heart are brothers and sisters. If your kidneys are affected, your heart is affected. If your heart is affected, your kidneys are affected. They both work hand in hand. You're dealing with the blood. You're dealing with the filtering. So, if you get yourself to the place, if you don't change what you are doing, if we do not change what we are doing, and we keep that high blood pressure, and your kidneys begin to give out because they're wearing out, you may possibly expect to see dialysis. They're popping up all over the place now. I have one not even 0.3 of a mile from my house. And I see them in the morning time at 5 o'clock. The ambulances are bringing people in. I see the buses bringing people in who don't have a way to get there. I see the cars piling in at 5 o'clock in the morning. So if you have to go on dialysis, depending upon whether or not you have health insurance or whether you don't have health insurance, monthly it's going to cost you between $50 and $500 a month. If you do not have health insurance, it's going to cost you between $72,000 to $88,000 a year. And there are many people who do not have health insurance. And if you've got to have it, you've got to have it. And they're putting people on dialysis that don't necessarily have to be on it. But when you are a friend of the doctor and your doctor is your God when it comes to your body, you'll do what your doctor tells you to do. I think I got to have it. So he says I got to do this. And a lot of times when people get on the dialysis, you can automatically begin to see their life start to go down. So that's what you can expect if you do not change the direction that we're going in. That's what we can expect to see. If we do not change what we are doing, you can get ready to experience coronary artery bypass. That's a heart attack. This was my fear. I had a conversation with my wife several years back. And I want y'all to see me when I say this. I had a conversation with my wife several years back because I saw when my dad had a heart attack. First, he was in a diabetic coma. First, they couldn't wake him up. They had to take him to the hospital. When he got to the hospital, he had a stroke. In the hospital, in ICU, he had a stroke and he had a heart attack. And when I saw my dad and I saw all the tubes hooked up to his body, I began to get nervous because I knew I was headed that direction. And I remember one day, my wife, she doesn't know why I said this. She didn't know at that time why I said this. I told her, I said, if anything like that ever happens to me, make sure that they sit me up in the bed. I don't want to be laying down. Sit me up so that I don't feel like I'm suffocating or I'm suffering. Sit me up in the chair or in the bed. Let them raise me up so that way I don't feel like I'm about to suffocate or I won't feel claustrophobic with all these tubes running into my mouth. When I saw them, they were trying to take the tubes out of my father's mouth. My father's heart rate would begin to go up so high that they had to stop. They tried several times to take it out. I remember hearing to this day, Mr. Logan, you're going to have to calm down while we're taking these tubes out. And it was hard for them. So they had to leave them in for, I believe, for an extra day. And so I didn't go back there when they were trying to do it the last time. When they did it the last time, they were able to get it out. But I knew that's where I was destined. When I would be driving down the highway in my truck, I knew I was destined to go there. And so that's why I told my wife. I wanted to make sure that that didn't happen to me. So this was my thoughts when I wasn't doing right. And this was going to happen to me. I already knew this was going to happen. This is what I said. It's going to happen. How am I going to cope with it? How am I going to cope with being in a coma, being able to hear people, but I can't wake up? How am I going to cope with them putting me in an induced coma? I can hear, I can't move. How am I going to feel like I'm stuck inside of a dark prison because I can't communicate? I can't move. Can you imagine being in fear like that? Knowing that's going to happen to you? One of the reasons why I had to make the decision to do what I was doing. I hope none of you have to go through that. But if we don't change our ways, many of us are going to find ourselves going through that experience. And it's not a pleasant experience. So if you have to have a coronary bypass, that costs between $30,000 and $200,000 a year. Insurance? No insurance. Insurance, maybe get to see the low end of that. No insurance, get ready. Either you invest in yourself, you invest in your life now, or you're going to be investing in them to take care of you. And with them comes a lot of side effects. With them comes parts of your body being taken out, and they're going to remove parts of your body and reshuffle it into another part of your body. We got some deciding to do. What investment are you going to make in yourself now so that you don't have to invest into the sick care system? Okay, let's go into another aspect of the healthcare system. Counseling. If you're going to go to a counselor, it doesn't matter whether it's a Christian counselor or a non-Christian counselor, you're going to be looking between $75 to $200 per hour. $75 to $200 per hour. So if you had to do that for 6 months, just multiply that. If you went one time a week, just multiply that by 26 weeks. You'll get the figure of how much it'll cost you. Healthcare, lower end. Non-healthcare, upper end. Weight loss prescription medications. For those who are putting their faith and putting their hope in weight loss prescription medication, these are the things that you have to look forward to. Losartan is going to cost around $322 for a 30-day supply of it. Now, let me give you some side effects of this. You're going to have possible dizziness, headaches, fatigue, dry mouth, and nausea. So you're going to pay them for their services. This is what they're going to offer you. For their services and their side effects, you're going to receive dizziness, headaches, fatigue, dry mouth, and nausea. Do you know what a side effect is? It's a warning. Something's not right. So we're going to start trying to mask these side effects that are coming from the poison that we're having to put in our body. Your body only reacts to the poison that's being put inside of it. So now your body's going to be thrown into a frenzy because you can get all of these or you can get one of them, which shows you it should not be inside of your body. All right, let's look at the next one. Orlistat, over the counter, or Xenical, prescription. It blocks 30% of the fat absorption. Hey, guess where that fat's going to wind up? In your blood. And then you're going to have to pass that stuff through your intestines. So you're going to see fatty, oily stool come out of you because it's going to bypass it. The side effects of it: digestive problems due to unabsorbed fat, stomach pain, gas, diarrhea, leakage of oily stool. I don't know about you now. I don't want to be sitting up in no chair and feeling no oil coming out where it ain't supposed to be coming out from. And then you're moving around in your seat and like, I feel something oily. I mean, that just ain't natural. But that's what it says for the side effect: leakage of oily stool. That means you're not going to be able to keep it closed off. Blocks absorption of some vitamins. So some vitamins, if you were eating the correct food, you're not going to get because the medication inhibits you from getting it. Now, if you want this medication for a 90-day supply, you're getting ready to pay $673. Hey, this is what they're offering you. You can do it. This is their offer to you. This is how we're going to help you. All right, the next one is phentermine. I can't even say the names of some of these things. I wish they would just go ahead and give it another name. Or topiramate, ER. It's an appetite suppressant. So it's going to make you not hungry. It's going to fool with one of those chemicals in your stomach that causes you to not be hungry. It's going to fake it. It's going to fake it out. It causes dizziness, taste changes, sleep problems, dry mouth, and tingling in the hands and feet. I know people who's got neuropathy who have tingling in the hands and in the feet. You giving me a symptom of neuropathy. Y'all, that ain't right. It's not supposed to be in our bodies. But this is what they offer you if you choose to go that route to deal with your weight. If you want this, you're going to pay about $179 for a 30-day supply. So average that out monthly. Average it out monthly. Going to cost you something. And the newest one that is out, that they haven't given any information for, the newest one that is out, it's not out yet. They're getting ready to bring it out. And it is called tirzepatide. Tizir peptide. I guess that's what they call it. Tizep peptide. I can't say the name of it. The side effects, the research material is not out yet on it. Oh, but it's going to cost you $1,100 monthly. $1,100 monthly. That's going to be your investment. So you're going to have to decide whether you're going to pay now, pay for the grocery bill, the whole food grocery bill. Pay for it. It's going to keep you away from all of this stuff. Pay for it now, or you're going to pay someone else later. Okay. The other thing that you can invest in is surgery. This is going to be the most devastating of them all. You can invest in surgery. If you just feel like you can't do it, no matter what I do, Ed, I just can't go through this. I just love food too much and I want to keep eating it. So I'm just going to have surgery done so that I can keep doing what I want to do. If you choose to have bariatric surgery done, you're going to pay between $14,000 to $23,000. Hopefully, your health insurance will help you out some kind of way. But if they don't cover it, if the doctor says that this is not a detrimental surgery, you're on your own. $14,000 to $23,000. That's a lot of money to invest in your health. Because you want to choose, or we want to choose, to continue eating the way we want to eat instead of changing our lifestyle and changing our habit. They've got something to offer you now. They do. Bariatric surgery, it removes a portion of your stomach. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. Why do you have to have something taken from your fearfully and wonderfully made body? And we can be okay with it for the sake of eating food. Lap band surgery. Lap band surgery. This is between $8,000 and $20,000. This part, the lap band, is they are banding off part of your stomach. They're basically shrinking your stomach. And if you want them to put a band around your stomach, you're going to pay between $8,000 to $20,000 for them to do this for you. So that we can continue to eat what we want to eat instead of training our minds and training our bodies to do right. We're going to pay somebody to put a rubber band around our stomach because we just can't help eating this way and this is the best way for me to do it. Hey, this is what they're offering you to do it. If you want to accept their offer, go ahead and do that. If you feel like that's the best way for you to do it, but you're getting ready to come out of your pocket. Sleeve gastrectomy surgery. I just minced that up. Sleeve gastrectomy surgery. A portion of the stomach is removed. It reduces the capacity of the stomach. It's the same thing as the banding. For this one, you're going to pay between $14,000 and $20,000. $14,000 and $20,000 for this one. For them to remove, you're going to pay somebody to take something that is working perfectly fine. We just happen to mess it up. We just happen to mess it up. Okay? I think it's better for us to change our mindset. I think it's better for us to handle it ourselves by doing what is right rather than letting some foreign object cut through our skin, go into our stomach, make something that is naturally and wonderfully made, and alter it for the rest of your life. And it goes right back. If you don't control your eating, that stomach portion that they cut off, it's going to grow right back. Trust me, I know someone who's done it. And today, they are bigger than they was before they did it. If you don't learn self-control, and when I say you, I'm speaking of us. I'm not pinpointing. If we don't learn how to control our eating habits and eat whole food, we wind right back up in the same situation. So it's so important for us to do that. Okay, so there is an expense for not taking care of yourself. What's it worth to you? What is it worth to you to take care of yourself? Do you need to go to a counselor? I went to one. They didn't understand me. Why? Because they hadn't walked in my shoes. They were just considered a professional. They didn't know my walk. They were just trying to guide me and telling me, if you're going to eat chocolate, Mr. Logan, you should eat chocolate. You should eat the best chocolate. No, lady, I don't need no chocolate. That's my problem. I can't quit eating it. And you're going to tell me to go eat the best chocolate? Oh, no, I can't come back to this. I went one time, left, didn't come back. Couldn't do it. That wasn't the answer for me. This was over 20 years ago. See, I've had this for a long time. I've had this problem for a long, long time, y'all. If we don't make a change, this is where some of us are heading. Heart attack, dialysis, all of these things, regardless of whether you want to go there or not, if we don't change our habits, that's where we're going. You are about to, you think buying that food right now is tough? Let me show you something. You're about to open this boy wide open when they get a hold of you. The number one growing business in the United States is about to get a hold of this right here. If you don't make some drastic decisions today, this week, about what you're going to do with your life. And let's pray if someone has a heart attack that you make it. Have you seen the percentages on that? It's not good. Does paying a little extra for whole food seem a bad idea now? I don't think that it does. I think paying extra, investing in yourself, is probably one of the best things that we could do for ourselves. The statistics work in our favor. Now, I don't sit around thinking about when I'm going to have a heart attack. You see, that was my life. When am I going to have this heart attack? Now, I think nothing of, no, that ain't happening to me. That's not going to happen to me. The Most High willing, that's gone. That part of my life is done with. Never have to worry about that again. Okay, homework. I am 7 minutes over. Please forgive me. So sorry. I told you I had a lot to get in. And I made it. I'm just 7 minutes over. Okay, homework. Really think about the road you want to be on. Are you willing to allow the medical industry to decide your fate? Are you really wanting to allow this mega corporation that makes billions upon billions of dollars a year off of our health to decide your fate? They get to decide your money. Read and meditate on the following scripture. I give thanks to you, for I am awesomely and wondrously made. Another version says, I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Wondrous are your works, and my being knows it well. My being knows it well. My body knows when I'm giving it the right stuff. It knows it well that I'm perfectly made. But it can't be well if I'm giving it products that does not allow it to do its job. It becomes imperfect. And there we see the nursing homes full. There we see it with young folk. Y'all, I'm not talking about just older folk, with young folk. There we see. Okay? So, resources today is the Bible. Also, let me give you another one, another resource. Another resource is that book that I was explaining to you. I put it in yesterday's lesson. Processed food, ultra processed food people. Awesome book. A little heavy, but it's an awesome book. Okay? And then I'll give you all another one, another couple of them tomorrow that are good books to read. There's a book on mental health that I'll give you tomorrow as well. Whew. Boy, that was tough getting through that. All right, so are you going to accept the health care's offer in taking care of you? Make that decision today. That's a yes or it's a no. I want to take care of my own life. I don't want the healthcare system to be in control of my life. Nor do I want the healthcare system to take control of my children's life. Do you know if your child, just listen, if your child was to develop cancer because of what we're feeding our children, and we said, no, we don't want them to have radiation treatment, do you know that social services can come and take your child from you? They have the power to come and snatch your child out of your house if they feel like you're not giving your child the proper resources through the health care system. So as parents, it would behoove us to treat our children right. It would behoove us to feed our children what is wholesome and natural so that they don't have to go through it. Okay, it's 10 after. Hey, I appreciate you all. Please go back and study the homework. Go back and look through the paperwork and make some decisions. If you have not already, make some decisions about your life today. It's imperative for your life. I appreciate you all. Hey, I've only seen you all for several days. I love y'all. I pray the Most High be with you all in everything that you do, your decisions that you make. I pray that His Spirit is fooling with you right now. I pray that His arms, His hands, His fingers are touching you on the top of your head to cause your mind to change. I pray that He gives you strength today to say no to those things that are not good to our bodies. What we have done to our bodies so far, the Messiah has paid it all. It has been paid in full. All we have to do is repent from what we have been doing. The debt has been paid for you. Just stop and go forward from here. It's been paid, y'all. Don't worry about all that cake we done shoved in our mouth. Don't worry about all them buckets of chitlins we done ate in our lifetime. Don't worry about these fat rolls we got going around our bellies right now. It's been paid. When you stand before Him and you put His righteous food into your righteous stomach, it's been paid. The people that are to worry is the people that don't repent. It's not going to be paid. You've got the warning. You chose not to accept it. You chose to do what you chose to do. When you stand before Him, you have to receive whatever He gives you. I'm not Him, so I can't tell you what He's going to do. But you're going to have to stand before your Maker and give an account. I love y'all.